Hey, welcome to the Keep It Cute Show. I'm DaKiya.
And I'm Sabrina. And we are so excited to be back with you today.
Yes. So today we are going to talk about caring for aging parents. I mean, we are now the new adults. How are we the new adults? That's weird.
Know.
Like, we are the new leaders of our families. You know, a lot of parents of millennial and Gen X people are now aging and getting older. So we want to look at like how it is that we're like parenting our parents.
Parenting parents is difficult.
Oh my gosh, they don't want to listen.
Right. They don't. They're so stubborn.
They are. But we're going to get into that today.
Yes. Before we jump into that,
okay.
You know, it's time for our icebreaker.
Yes.
It's our confession of the week. Would you like to go first?
Girl, these confessions, I be trying not to confess. I be trying to keep it to myself, but I'll go first. Icebreaker.
Yeah.
So, okay. So it was the last competition of the season. You know, I own a dance studio and we just finished up competition season not too long ago. So it was the last competition of the season, right? And it's a 3-day competition.
Oof.
All day, 6 a.m. to like 11 p.m. all day, 3 days in a row.
And you got to be there the entire time?
The entire time. Friday,
Jesus.
Saturday, Sunday, all day.
God bless
and the parents come
parents
and go.
And
the different
coaches.
Yeah, the different groups. The kids come and go depending on their age. But I'm there and my staff is there all day, every day. So by the Sunday, it was the very last day. It was maybe like 7 p.m. We had already been there since 6 a.m. All my little kids had gone. All my groups had gone. I only had 2 senior solos left. So Miss DaKiya's water bottle had been touched by Jesus, and Jesus might have turned that water into wine. So by the time my last 2 seniors went on stage for their solos, I had a little wine in my water bottle.
And that was called a blessing.
It was definitely a blessing from Jesus.
That's called a blessing.
I deserved it. We had a long weekend. They did great. Congratulations to Dance Dimensions. But I needed a little wine after that 3-day weekend.
Damn.
Don't tell nobody. Kids.
Don't tell nobody. Okay. Well, my confession's a little bit different. Mine's a little bit different. You know what? Lately, reality TV has been giving me nightmares.
Really? Mm-hmm. I mean, I believe it.
Yeah, and I mean that, like, what I realize is that I'm like a child sometimes. And so, like, whatever I watch that night, and usually I'm watching, like, mindless stuff like reality TV or sometimes, like, a show or whatever. I should say just TV in general. I'll have a very vivid dream influenced by whatever I watched.
Yeah, I get that. I have the same sometimes.
So, like, I just got done watching this show called Shogun. I had a dream that I was like a samurai. I'm out there fighting with like knives and blades and stuff like that. There's like somehow
in your dream.
Yes, and then like people like you or whoever, like random people will show up in my dream with me, and I'll be like, "Girl, you see this?" You know what I'm saying? And we just be out there like fighting together.
I can see you being a samurai with his hairstyle.
Or if like I'm watching reality TV and they're like fighting and bickering, I'm having a dream of me sitting down and then I'm almost sudden going off on somebody. And it's like, it'll wake me up. Like, I'll wake up. You know what I'm saying?
That is
Walter
funny.
Like, why would you?
No, but I feel you, though. That's why I can't watch scary movies. Because I feel things I'm serious. I'm a punk. Because my dreams are very vivid.
Yes.
And like you said, like that plays into what I'm dreaming about. And sometimes it's like, it's so vivid. I struggle. Like, I'm like, oh, wake up, wake up, wake up. You know, you try to wake yourself up. So that's why I can't do scary movies. I make sure that when I'm going to bed, like, or before bed, I'm watching just mindless stuff. Nothing too scary, nothing too dramatic, nothing too like violent.
Yes.
You know, just making sure
restrictions on myself. Like I'm a child. Because
we both kids, sis.
Yeah, like, because I can't do it. I was like, why have my... And it's like difficult because once I wake up, it's hard for me to go back to sleep.
Same.
So
why
I'm
are we
like,
the same person?
I don't know.
That's my sister.
We're really sisters. And so I was like, so that's been my confession. Like, I've had to really like watch what I'm watching late at night because it will show up later in the night in my dreams and stuff like that. But Walter's like you. He will not watch anything scary.
Nope.
Especially nothing about like possessions and ghosts and anything, demons. He was like, why am I like spending time
I ain't
trying to scare? Yeah, exactly. He was like, I don't need no type of energy. I'm not trying to invite no type of energy like that. Why?
Right. Life is scary enough. I do not need to be entertained by fear.
I grew up on scary movies. So for me, I'm like, for real? And he's like, no.
No, life is scary enough. I do not need to be entertained by fear. Yeah. I will not. I will not. Give me rainbows and butterflies. Right, I'm so sorry.
Say My Little Pony. All that.
I love. Girl, you speaking my language. I love the My Little Pony moment.
Yeah.
But All right, but enough of that.
Enough of that. All right, let's get into the episode.
Yes.
Can we just say that I don't know how we became like the leaders of the family already? Like, I still feel like I'm just like fresh out of college trying to figure it out.
Right. I don't know either, girl. It's weird because it's like they are turning to us for like answers and resources, and it's like, bruh, like y'all trust me, but I agree. Like, I think that, you know, there was some kind of switch, some kind of shift where we became the adults because we experienced things that they never had to experience before.
Right. The world has changed a lot since they were our age. So I could understand, especially when it comes to like technology and different apps and things like that they're like, hey, can you show me? Can you help me? Like, you know, I taught my mom how to use like, you know, Uber and the Cash App, Venmo, all those things. Like, I taught her how to do that because she was like, what are these things that you and your sister keep talking about, like Cash Apping each other? Right. Now she's all about it. You know what I'm saying? Like, now she's like, you can Cash App me half of this.
I know that's right, mama.
You know what I mean? But so for things like that, I totally understand. But I also think that there's like a deeper component of like, I don't know, just like assistance that they require. I think that there's some like emotional support. Yeah. That's there as well.
I agree. So the emotional support also could come from, a lot of them are getting divorced now. A lot of them are divorced and they're trying to date again. I know my mama's single. My mama's single. So, I mean, if there are any eligible bachelors, you're going to have to come through me first.
Or you have a family member that you know, think is a good guy, you know what I'm saying? We take referrals.
Yes, we absolutely do. And we will need a background check.
We will be vetting them.
Exactly.
But it'll be worth it.
And that's our role as the new parents, as the new adults. We have to kind of look after them because dating is completely different now than it was when they were dating back then.
Absolutely.
And so we have to kind of guide them through that. And then they're so, like you said, stubborn because they think that, you know, they understand, like, Mom, it is not the same. You are not going to have that gentleman that was so chivalrous. Unfortunately, that's not the norm anymore.
So you think the guys their age are like adopting like the habits of the new generation?
I think some of them are. I'm not going to say all of them, but I do think that some of them are because they're being led by their kids, their sons.
Right.
Just how we're like assisting our moms, they're assisting their dads.
And you know and you know, also it's like what's so like effed up about it is that like the numbers are still not in like the woman's favor, even at that age. Like women already, like there's more of us than there are men, but women also live longer. Yeah. So like there's even less of them available. You know? So
that's like, unfortunate.
So I'm wondering if that also still plays into that dynamics, like especially if you have an older guy who's, you know, stable, not to say successful, stable, you know, settled, well-rounded, well-adjusted,
able to contribute,
all those things, still fun, you know, outgoing, healthy lifestyle,
still able to
perform.
Exactly.
Perform.
A little intimacy is still required.
Can't you imagine all those ladies running after him?
Yes, he's a catch.
Yeah, he's a catch. He knows he's a catch.
Right.
People ain't going to I was going to say bingo.
I don't think my mama that old for bingo.
I was like, I don't know when bingo. What do people like our mom's age do? Like, what do they do?
I don't know.
My mom just goes out to like lunch and dinner with her girlfriends.
Yeah,
that's
my
what she
mama
does.
My mama actually travels. She just got back.
I love that about your mom.
Yeah, she just got back from New York to see the Wiz. She went to where did she go? Spain with the girls. She going to Grenada coming up. Like my mama goes.
Okay, that makes sense. So I mean, she could meet somebody.
She might come back with a Winston when next time we go to Jamaica. She's gonna be Stella.
As long as they in a 90-day fiance situation,
I know.
I'm
gonna have to get her in check on that one.
I'm just glad that your mom is like willing to date. My mom is not willing to date. My mom's been single for a really long time, and I think because of that, it's like hard for her to imagine changing her lifestyle to be with someone at this point. No, you know what I mean? Like I think for her, it's just been so long not having a companion that like she's just been so self-sufficient. Even though I think she secretly really wants someone, she won't really date. Like, she's not really about that life. Like, someone, like, you know, circled the block on her from, like, when they used to work together.
That she already knew?
Yeah, and she was just like, no.
Really?
And I was like, why? She was like, I mean, he just got freshly divorced. I was like, so?
Right.
He ain't gotta be Mr. like forever. Like, why can't you guys have
Mr. right now?
Why she was like, no. And I was like, oh my God. But I am setting her up on a blind date when she comes.
Ooh.
Yes.
You have somebody already in mind for her?
What's so funny is that Walter found somebody for her. He, like, ran into this guy who he kind of works with like through the acting scene, and he was like, Sabrina, he's a really, really nice guy. Nice. And he was like, he's like age appropriate for your mom and all these things, and so we're gonna put them up together on a blind date.
I can't wait to get the deets on that, mommy. That's coming out here.
Post like a secret shot of us like on the other side of the restaurant or something like that on our social media.
Right, and that's another good point, is because we have to kind of balance their independence and their safety, right? You know, so they're still grown. My mama's grown; she's a grown woman, you know, but at the same time, she's independent enough enough to do what she wants, but we got to be safe in these streets because she's a little too trusting.
Yeah.
A little too, so
she's
forgiving.
the opposite of my mom. My mom's like, no.
No, my mama loves everybody. She is equal opportunity.
Your mama does love people. Yeah,
she loves everybody. She has a hard time saying no.
Yeah.
Like she's very open and giving and nurturing and to a fault at sometimes. It's like, mama,
that makes me love her even more.
But then I gotta be the mean one. Like, mama, no.
Yeah.
And
she be looking at me like, dang,
right? You're so tough. You're so mean. You're so mean.
Yeah.
No, mama, you're a little too nice. We gotta keep you safe. We gotta reel you in. We gotta save you from yourself.
Right. So are you going to try to set her up, or do you feel like she does a good job on her own?
She does not do a good job on her own.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's my mom's picker is off.
Okay.
No shade to my mama. She loves anybody that's a nice person, which is great.
Yeah.
She has no type. My father passed when I was very young. He looks completely different than my brother's father, who she married after I got older. Like, they look different. And the guys that she's dated since then, she's been divorced for a long time now. But so
there's no pattern.
There's no pattern.
No trend. Okay.
And I say, Mama, what's your type? She says, whoever is a nice person that just treats me nice. But sometimes that nice person might not be making no money. Or maybe that nice person ain't really, bringing anything to a table. Maybe he's like, she got to do everything for him, or so
my mom is very sensitive about that. She's
Yeah.
like, I am not taking care of no man at this stage of my life. Like,
Absolutely.
it's not happening.
Absolutely. So if I can find a man to hook my mom up with, I absolutely will. Mom, I hope you're not mad I'm putting your business out there, because you're a really nice person and I love it and it's a great quality. But so again, we will be accepting applications through the Keep It Cute
We should
show.
actually post pictures of us and our moms, so they you guys can tell us if you guys have any eligible bachelors.
Absolutely,
Yeah,
absolutely.
that'd
I
be
think
cool.
we posted some for Mother's Day, so we can bring those back out. We pull those back out, and maybe you can nominate an eligible bachelor. Maybe we'll have a Ready to Love, a mom edition.
a golden
Yes, a golden Ready to Love. They have the Golden Bachelor. Why not? We should do it.
Why not?
Yeah,
I'm down with that.
So besides the dating, like, what else do you feel like you have to take care of your mom for?
I just feel like my mom, because she is single, I just feel like there's just supporting her emotionally and just letting her know that I care, that we care, that we want her involved in our life. I think that, I get caught up in I gotta do all this stuff this week. This has to happen, blah, blah, blah. So I try to do my best to make sure that I call her on my way home from work, or I give her a call. I try to call her every other day. She would probably like it to be every day, but I try to call her every other day because me and my mother don't live on the same coast. So I think just letting her know that I care, I'm thinking about her, and I try my best to kind of spoil her from a distance. I think that's helpful, because I think that gives her a sense of belonging. I think that's more that's what I mean by emotional support. I think sometimes as people age, they feel like they're not as useful or as thought of. And I think that's I want her to know that, no, I do think of you. Sometimes when I'm, the seldom times that I'm trying to cook.
That's what Walter's for.
Yeah, that's exactly. The few times I'm trying to cook or something like that, I may ask her, I may call her for hey, how do you make this Nicaraguan meal? What do you do first? Is it this before that? You know what I'm saying? And I think that makes her feel good. It's also helpful to me. So things like that. How about you?
So I think that with my mom, she, like I said, she's very independent. My mom, really takes care of herself and other people. But I think that I'm going to have to do more as time goes on. So both of us, we have younger moms. You know what I mean? My mom just had a birthday, just turned 61. I am putting all her business out here. She's going to be pissed off, but she looks good. She still looks like my sister. But anyway, so she's on the younger side. But I know a lot of my friends have older parents.
Yeah,
they're in their 70s.
Knocking on 80s.
Exactly. 70s, late 70s, like you said, early 80s. And they have a whole different kind of responsibility that they have for their parents. They have to, be going to the house and check up on them and bringing them groceries and, helping them with things around the house and things like that. So while right now, even though I am a little older, my mom is still young enough to be very independent. Like I said, she's traveling, she's working, she comes to the studio every day.
She even swings by the show.
She comes by the show, exactly. She does our last look, but yeah, I think that as time goes on, it's going to be a lot more required. And I do feel like a lot of my friends, because we're in this generation where the parents are getting older, they have I have friends that I have to take care of their kids and their parents.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Their parents are in their upper 70s. Their kids are young. So they are really, juggling, managing both generations.
Yeah.
And that's a lot.
Yeah, that does feel like you're being pulled in two directions a little bit. That I didn't think about that, but that is interesting. Neither one of us has children.
Right.
So like, we don't really have to consider that, or at least that part of the dynamic. But like, that's just like one of those realities of getting older, is that like, at some point you become the caregiver of your parents. Like they care for you, and then eventually you pay them back.
Yeah. And that's one of my fears and qualms about deciding not to have kids. Yeah. It's like, who is going to take care of me? Like, who is going to wipe my butt? Or who's going to make sure I'm in a good, nursing home? So that's why I'm really.
Girl, we're going to be in that nursing home together,
right,
okay?
We're golden girls. We golden girls, but
right, we gonna make it work.
Right, but that's why I'm taking care of my godchildren, my goddaughter. Hopefully, she remembers this and takes care of me when I get older. Take care of your mom and your godmom. Exactly. But that's a thing that you think about. Like, you have to flip those roles and be the caregiver. Just like your mom changed your diaper, you might have to change hers.
So interesting you said that, because I have a friend whose grandmother happens to still be alive, actually. So my grandparents are still alive. Like, they're late 80s, early 90s. I'm like, you know what I mean? I'm like, in one sense, it's kind of reassuring. I'm like, we live long. But that's, I'm like, man, y'all are really up there. And so, and they just conspire to like be independent even in their older age and stuff. But I have a friend whose grandmother is not doing that well. It's to the point where she can't change herself anymore. And so the family, pitches in and takes turns, changing her diapers, essentially, and he was visiting at this time. He went home to visit because she had a scare or whatever. And, it was his turn to like change her diapers, and he couldn't do it.
Wow.
He kind of like broke down a little bit, and he felt so much guilt around not being able to like step in that way.
Yeah.
And then I was like, and there were people in his family who was like, come on, like, it's your grandmother, she did it for you. And there was others who were like, it's okay, like, we understand you can help in other ways. And so it made me wonder, like, how am I going to be able to step in when the time comes, right? Am I going to be the hands-on, like, all right, bend over, here we go, you know what I'm saying?
So we had that happen. Like, my grandparents both passed away about 1.5 years ago. And when my grandmother was coming up to her end, like, that's what we did. Like, I changed her, I helped her, hold her, hover her over the toilet and change her diaper. And I know that sounds so crazy, but even though it was like, the first time I did it, it was like a lot, but at the same time, it was like, hey, she did it for me. I'm happy that I can take care of her. My mom was the primary caregiver. She did that every day. I only did it sometimes when she was over here. But while it's humbling and a little, I can't even explain the emotion about it. I don't want to say sad, but it was a little like, oh my gosh. But at the same time, it was like, I'm doing whatever I can to make this as comfortable as possible for her.
It's a reality check.
Yeah.
It's also kind of like, it reminds you of your own mortality.
Yeah.
Like, at one point, I'm going to be there. You know what I mean? Someone's going to have to hover me over the toilet. I think that's another kind of like reality check. Like, whoa, this is the life cycle. They're at the different
circle of life.
Yeah, exactly. And so I was like, I think that's part of it. I'm like, kind of like, whoa, this is kind of crazy in that way. But it is what it is. And to me, I think it's okay for it to be sad. Yeah. I think it's okay. I mean, it is kind of sad, because to me, it's sad because when I look at my grandparents now, I just remember being a child and visiting them and them being like these grand people, right? Like, they were the ones who were able to like check my parents. Yeah, right. You're like grandma, get her. Yeah, exactly. Like, ooh. And my dad wouldn't say anything, because he's very respectful, never will talk back to his mom. So when I saw my grandmother check my dad for the first time, I was like, oh my God. You know what I'm saying? Like, and so they were these like huge people to me, like these titans. And so now to see them like older and more frail and fragile, it's just kind of, it's a reality check. It's sad. Yeah. It's sad just because like, I just remember what big people they were to me. Yeah. And I was small. So to me, they like, my grandfather's pretty tall. He's like 6'4". So like, I'm like, how did like, wow, like he was physically tall and a big person in terms of like who he was in our family. Yeah. So I think it's okay for it to be sad. Yeah, it's tough. And then I also thought about how my mom moved my grandmom into her home. You know what I mean? She had to
make a multi-generational home. So at that point, it was 3 generations under the same roof. My mom, my grandmom, and my brother were there. And that multi-generational home, I know it's big in a lot of cultures, but we don't really see that too often in our culture. We see it a little bit, but having having your parents move in, like with your husband, with your families and things like that, that's a major dynamic shift. And how does that affect your marriage if you're married? How does that affect your kids? But at the same time, I know that my mom loved having my grandmom in the house with her all the time. So,
yeah. I mean, I think that's something that I thought about. Like, my current home is not set up for an aging parent. Yeah. There's just too many stairs in it, you know? And so, in thinking about that, I know that it's not a forever home because of that reason. Like, even if I never have children, like, that home is still not the forever home, because I do anticipate taking care of my parents. Like, regardless of how, you know, prepared they are for that stage of life, I still would want them to be closer. And I just know that my current home, the infrastructure, it's just not set up for that. And so
even if you do have to change it, even if you do move, you could change it. So my mom's house was the same way. So she has a lot of stairs in her home. Yeah. So she was able to put a chairlift to come up because you have to take a lot of stairs just to get to the front door. Yeah. So we had installed a chairlift to get her there, and then they converted the dining room into a bedroom. And then, because a lot of people don't use the formal dining room. My mom, I don't use my formal dining room. So she converted the formal dining room to a bedroom. You know, there was a bathroom on that floor. We were getting ready to renovate that bathroom for her completely, but she ended up passing before that happened. But so there is a possibility that you can convert your existing home.
That's a good point. And your mom has a DC house?
No, District Heights, right outside in PG County in Maryland.
You know them DC row houses, they be like this big. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a little bit more narrow, but you know, where there's a will, there's a way.
Yeah, and I'm trying to think about your current home. I can understand how that would be a challenge for you.
Yeah, so I was like, I probably could do that, like conversion and things like that,
or a chairlift.
Exactly, I probably could do stuff like that. Like, if the cost benefit worked out, I probably would, you know. But I just kind of assumed that I just ended up moving into maybe like I don't know, I don't want to say a large rancher, but just something that's like a little bit more.
Even ones that have a bedroom on the main level for that very reason.
Yes, exactly. So that's something that I've thought about in terms of preparing myself for my parents' retirement. Yeah, you know what I mean, I don't necessarily think that that's what they have in mind.
They're going to move from California.
You know, I don't know if they're going to necessarily want to do that, but like, you know, there comes that point where they no longer have a choice. You know what I mean? And so I think that I'm prepared for it in that way. I don't know if they're prepared for it that way. So that's something I'm kind of like thinking about.
Yeah. I mean, those are major things. And then you also have to think about, you know, we were blessed to have careers and start our careers early and be able to prepare for retirement out of the gate. You know what I mean? A lot of parents, you know, didn't have that same luxury. They were trying to make sure that bills were paid and kids were taken care of. So sometimes, like, the children end up having to be not only the primary caregivers, but the primary care providers, you know, so there's a whole nother aspect of if your parent wasn't as prepared with insurance and life insurance and 401ks and stocks, all that other great stuff, because you have to step in for that, you know what I mean, and you have to make sure that, hey, my mom or my dad prepared me and took care of me, got me through college. Now it's my turn to repay the favor of making sure that even if they weren't set up for retirement, that we have
a plan.
Yeah, we got a plan.
We have a plan.
And so that's where it comes into, like, our generation, these Gen X and millennials, or exennials, like I like to call myself. Don't come for my exennial hybrid generation.
Okay.
But we have to start including that in our planning. You know, we were afforded a luxury that the generation before us. I know that I was afforded a luxury that the generation before me was not provided. You know, I've spoken about this on the show last season. I was able to make it out of Southeast DC due to the way that they poured into me and made sure that I was exposed to things that they weren't exposed to. And then in turn, me being the one to make it out, and it's time for me to turn around and pull them and help them as well.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I feel like it's interesting because even when you do have parents or family members who are aging, who may be, you know, somewhat prepared, there's also this added step of just ensuring that they are prepared to pass that on, right? Like intergenerational wealth. Like, do they have the documents in place? Like, do they have a living will? Is stuff written down? You know what I'm saying? Like,
that part.
Do people know where it is? You know what I mean? And I think that that's the uncomfortable conversations that we're having in my family right now.
Yeah.
Of like, especially because I mentioned that my grandparents are like late 80s, early 90s, right? Like, and it's really hard to have a conversation with people about like when you go,
Right.
And also like encouraging like my parents to have that conversation
for themselves, even though they're in their 60s.
Exactly. So that's where we're at right now with me and my sister, trying to have that like uncomfortable conversation of like, we just need everything to be like on paper and to have a clear understanding
of where it is
and it's documented correctly and stuff, so it doesn't like default to whatever the state laws are, which may not be in the favor of the heirs. So just things like that we're just trying to work on. And it's once again a reality check of where you're at in life, and a reality check like, do I got this shit for myself? Like, I'm telling them to do it. Do I got this shit ready for myself? You say like it's almost like it forces you to look in the mirror in a few different ways. Seeing your parents age in the ways that like, you would expect your parents to be prepared or you want them to be prepared, forces you to look at yourself like, am I prepared?
Because heaven forbid anything can happen. Everyone isn't given the luxury of old age.
Exactly.
So we were blessed with like I said, a year and a half ago, both my grandparents passed away within 2 months of each other. But my granddad did a great job of like literally documenting things, and he had things filed, and as he started getting older and dementia kept kicked in, some things were a little wonky and he didn't follow through on some things, but for the most part my mom was able to find things and but she still had a long process to make sure that things were in place, and the little thing might have been wrong and they have to like go through the arbitration or whatever it was to make sure that the estate was settled. But those types of things, it's like now I'm thinking like, okay, for me, like you said, you have to think about yourself. For me, a lot of my stuff is like digital, and I have this account with Fidelity, I have this account with this person with this account, and who has that password? Who knows who knows what it is? Like, I don't have like a file cabinet of documents like my grandfather did. I don't know if you do, but I don't keep like printouts of things like that.
I do for important things like my deed and other things.
Yes,
yeah, stuff like that. Some things, but not everything.
But
you're
like
right.
my insurance policies and my 401ks, I don't think I have that stuff printed out.
As you were reading, I was like, yes, no.
Right. Yeah. So that kind of inventory that you kind of have to do is like, because we're in a digital age and things are in different accounts and different websites and different passwords. Yeah. When you pass away, do you have like a master code of things that you update?
Because your family members, your remaining family members, they have to jump through hoops to prove that, one, that you're deceased, and that, two, that you're related to that person in order to, and then like, because it takes a lot for an institution to turn over personal records. So it has your passwords, all that. And then like, I mean, that's why power of attorney, and all that starts to come into play the older that your parents get. And
as a newlywed, and as you being engaged now, that's a conversation that we need to have. We need to start, even though I've listed him as a beneficiary on things, I don't think that he knows where my items are, where Fidelity is, and where this 401k. I didn't change jobs 3 times. I got different 401ks in previous companies. And so those are things that we have to think about. And we don't need to wait until we're 70 years old. Like, we need to do that in our 30s and 40s, which is scary AF,
Yeah, and including like life insurance and all the other things. Yeah, I was having I have a friend who like she just got obsessed with like all the different types of insurances and stuff like that. And she was like, it's more than just life insurance. I can't even think now what she was saying, but she was like, it's more than just that.
You need. The accidental death and dismemberment. You have the long-term. It's a lot.
She was telling me, she was like, all those. She's like, people focus on life insurance. She's like, but there's a few different ones that you would want to have. And I was just like, Jesus, it can feel overwhelming.
Yeah, absolutely. So maybe we need to bring, insurance or estate planning. Maybe we need to think about that to bring that on the episode, or maybe provide some resources to you guys so that you can think about these things. And if you have resources, put it in the chat. Let us know so that we can all be prepared. We're gonna keep it cute, prepared.
Right. That is being cute. Prepared. I mean, just the way you gotta prepare. The way you gotta prepare yourself. You gotta prepare yourself the other way.
Exactly. You want to be a mess in your presentation. You don't want to be a mess in your personal life and in your finances and in your preparation for, you know, your family, your legacy.
And speaking of like preparation for legacy, like another aspect of parents aging that I feel like I've been kind of a little bit more sensitive to is just documenting the family history a little bit more.
Yes.
Like having them tell the story of their parents, you know what I mean? Or, so my grandparents are still alive, so I've asked like them to try to like, you know, tell the story of like their lives, of their grandparents, so that it's in record, you know, in some way. And you'd be surprised how much you learned when you sit down and talk to them. You're like, wow, you did that, or wow, they did that. I just think that it's something that I don't know. I just don't know if we really necessarily there's enough of. There's some families that are really good at it. Like, I don't think my family is one of those families who are good at it. I feel like it's me and my sister are like the start of us trying to like dig a little bit deeper into like, you know, having it documented. Let me put it that way. Like having it documented somewhere.
Yeah. So down south, my family is from a little small town called South Boston, Virginia, Halifax County, right outside or right close to the Virginia-North Carolina border. And I have like a great cousin. I'm not quite sure how my affiliation to cousin Carolyn. She knows everything about everybody, every history of the family. Yes. You know, this, you know, great uncle such and such and cousin, and he was the product of a slave and slave on, like all of that information. And she just knows it. So we've been trying to make sure that kind of trickles down, that oral history, but like you said, documenting it. Yeah. I did set up like an ancestry DNA and try to track our family tree, but so far, but it was difficult. You know, I did learn a lot of different things. I learned that on my maternal grandfather's side, I'm related to Henrietta Lacks. She was the immortal that used her cervical cancer cells at Johns Hopkins to, you know, be able to replicate those cells to find a whole lot of cures for a whole lot of different things. And lo and behold, the same cancer that she had is the cancer that I had, and I was treated at the same hospital.
I was just thinking that.
Yeah.
That's wild.
Yep. And so the knowledge and the information that they'd gotten from the research from her, from a distant cousin, actually saved my life. Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah.
Well, they exploited her, but yes.
They did. And the family still has been fighting for that. I mean, I'm distant, so I don't have that relation. But at the same time, it's like, wow.
Yeah. No, and I think that's important, right? So that's one example of like a health example of why it's so important to know your family history, but also just kind of like your ways. Yeah. Sometimes the reason why, you know, it's also like why you look the way you do, but also sometimes why you act the way you do, why you're interested in the things that you're interested in. Absolutely. Like some of that, you inherit that, you know what I mean? And I think that that's really beautiful too.
It is. Again, going down south, I found out that, you know, because I'm a little spicy, you know what I mean? I'm conservative, but I'm
just a little? Okay.
More than a little spicy. Y'all see the Keep It Cute version of me, which is that an actual part of me, but at the same time, I have a little spice to me. And one of my great aunts was like, you act just like your great grandmother. Like your great grandmother was the same way. She was sweet and little, and she was one of the most caring people, but she had a little spice to her, just like you. And I was like, oh. Yes. And I look like her too. Yes. So I think that that's really cool how you can see that passed down generations. I think
it's beautiful. Like looks, laughs, things like that. I think it's so beautiful that you could, and I think it gives a person a sense of belonging, legacy. Like, oh, I'm like this because, you know, my ancestors were like this. I mean, I don't know. I feel like that gives me like a sense of like, okay, that's me and my tribe. Right. Exactly. You know, my people. I love it. And so I think that. So when I went to visit my grandparents last Thanksgiving, I tried to do like a recording.
Oh, I love that.
Of my grandmother. And she didn't really like that. She was just, because, you know, that generation's like, why are you trying to record me? Yeah. What are you doing? You know what I'm saying? She was not feeling that. But she did let me film her making her famous cornbread recipe. Ooh. And so that's when she was like, I'm only letting you do this for the family. Don't show nobody this video. And I was like, I got you, Granny. It's okay, Granny. I got you. And she let me film her making her cornbread. And she was like, I'm passing this down through this way. So we have that on record.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah. But the rest of it, she was not trying to have us record her. Like, I wanted to like actually like, you know, the visual. But she was like, no, we not doing that. So yeah. But it was really special. And so I have it. So I'll always have that to look back on. And we'll always have that recipe.
And you can always pass that down to the next generation.
Yeah.
To your kids, your nieces.
It could be something as simple as that. It doesn't have to be like a fully documented document it, even though I think it's amazing when people have like family trees. I'm like, that's amazing. And I do have a cousin like that. So I'm just going to have to go and do some cheat notes and be like, give me what you got. But, you know, just some of the other things, like the things you guys like that they make.
Yeah, absolutely. I love it. Like, family is everything. And like you said, it's always great to kind of see each generation being similar at the same time as evolved. You know what I mean? Like we said, like we're just like our parents, but we've evolved to the point where we've learned more, experienced more, and now we can make sure that they're safe and secure as time goes on.
It's like, well, that was the versions of us, and now we're pushing it forward. So I'm like interested in seeing like what my like niece grows up and how she takes like the family like lineage forward. I'm like, oh, that's gonna be crazy too.
Absolutely, absolutely. I'm here for it.
All right, well, cheers to that, girly girl.
Cheers to legacy and being our parents' parents. You better listen, mama. Okay.
It's time for game time.
Game time.
We're going to play one of our favorites just to lighten it up. This or that. We're going to list different topics, and then you have a choice between the two options.
Yes.
And so, you want to kick us off?
I'll kick us off.
Let's do it.
You ready, girl?
Yes.
Okay. Chocolate or vanilla?
Ooh.
Rapid fire.
Okay. I'm going to get crucified for this. Vanilla. Because I think I can like eat it with different desserts more. You know what I'm saying? Like pie and cake.
I should have clarified like ice cream because I'm hoping that.
That's what I meant. I was like, I'm hoping you mean that. If not, it's chocolate all day.
Okay. Ice cream is you're going with vanilla.
Yes.
Okay. Gotcha. Yes. Okay. Speaking of ice cream cone or milkshake.
Ice cream cone. How about you?
I'm going milkshake. My milkshake brings all the boys to the yard, honey.
Oh my god! But ain't nothing like having that like cone on the outside.
You like to lick it. That's all. Come on.
I don't mind licking it, girl. So I don't mind.
All right. Texting or calling?
Texting.
Just saying.
Just tell me what you gotta say. Right. I don't need all the pleasantries. I don't need you holding me on the phone for an hour.
Exactly. Yeah. Sunrise or sunset?
Sunset.
Same. Yes.
So beautiful. I'm never up in time for sunrise.
That part. We are not morning people.
Like I'm never up in time for that. Yeah.
Okay. Caught singing in the shower or dancing in your underwear?
Oh God, those are both bad. I'm not good at singing or dancing. So I would say
you're right. I've never seen you dance.
You haven't?
I
will dance. I'm just not like someone who can like break it down like other people. You know what I'm saying? Okay. Like I can catch a beat, but like
you got a strong two-step.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like I can do the TikTok dances, but I don't consider that real dancing.
Oh, you're right.
You know what I'm saying? Like that's not real dancing. I would say, and I'm speaking to a dancer, so I have to be very careful.
But it's different. It's different. My dancing is different than like at a party.
Like, hold on. You know, I can dance with a man. You know what I'm saying?
All that matters. That's all you need.
Okay, just try to clean that up. So to that sense, I'm going to say caught singing in the shower. I'm like really bad. I have a really bad voice. It's not great. Like
so
at all. So
and we both married. Well, you're engaged to a man. I'm married to a man that both sing.
And in the shower
all the time.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. So no, not
Silk
a songbird
or lace.
Ooh, I'm gonna go with lace because I like the peekaboo effect.
I agree. Same sis. All right, sister locks or braids?
Oof, braids. I love braids.
Same sis.
Yeah,
same.
Okay,
yeah.
Cool.
Because I can't commit to. I love sister locks, but I can't make that commitment.
I can't either.
Yeah.
Well, you know, I was rocking faux locks for a hot minute.
Same.
I love me some faux locks.
Me too.
Yes, I may have to put that back in the rotation. But yeah. Okay.
All right.
Girls' night in with movies or girls' night out on the town?
I know I want to do both, but I'm gonna go with girls' night in because I feel like I can talk more. We get a little bit more in depth in a bunch of different things, but at the same time, I like going out. I'm gonna have to sip because I want both.
I'm gonna say girls' night out on the town
but I'm ready to go home.
But that's true. It says night too, because I was thinking more like day.
If it's like a day,
I was thinking more like brunch.
And we do, yes.
So
I'm
girls' day out on the town.
Girls' day, I'm here for that. Yes.
Okay.
Girls' night, we going to cap it at like we got to be done by 10.
Like when we went out with Libba recently, I was like, oh my god, I'm so tired.
So we got to go home.
Yeah. Okay. Red lips or smoky eyes?
Red lips.
Yeah?
Yeah, because I haven't mastered the smoky eye, and a red lip can make anything pop. Even if you have very little makeup on, a red lip will change the whole outfit.
It does, but I'm still going to go with smoky eyes. There's just something like so sexy about that to me.
It is, and
like
then
seductive.
But I look like I got a black eye child.
You have like nice big eyes too, so I feel like it would look really good.
I'm going to need somebody else to do it. Get somebody else to do it because I can't.
Skinny dipping or lingerie?
I do both. So I had a trip.
I do both.
I told you I was a little spicy. But so I'm telling all my business. Maybe this should have been my confession for the day. But I had a ritual of every time I went to a new island, I skinny dipped in the ocean.
Like in front of everybody?
Oh, I'll make sure I was discreet. I mean, I ain't know.
Like you would get out there with your bathing suit on and then take it off in the water?
Yes.
Okay, I wasn't sure if you like threw the bathing suit off and like ran into the water. Okay.
Get in with the bathing suit on, take it off while you're out there deep in there, make sure there's nobody, around, and just be one with that island, with the nature. Floating. I can't float. Even though I got flotation devices, I do not know how to float.
What?
I know, I'm working on it.
All you do is lay there.
It don't work for me.
You can't lay still?
I can't. I don't know. I don't know. It doesn't work. But I'm taking swim lessons soon because I need to learn.
Wait, you don't know how to swim?
Ish.
I never knew that.
I can swim underwater. I can't swim on top of water because I don't know how to master the breathing, and I don't know how to tread water or float.
Wow.
I know, but I'm always in somebody's water and about to die.
Exactly. As much as you go to the ocean.
Always in the water and about to die.
I'm going to need you to not visit the ocean so much.
No, I need to swim. Visit the ocean, but learn how to swim. That's what I need to do.
Oh my goodness.
We're going to work on it in 2024.
Girl, we were in Jamaica recently. We swam like 100 yards almost every day. It was fun.
Yeah.
Like we just like doing stuff.
I can't. I would love to, but
I was panting, but I did it.
I can swim underwater. I can go, but I have to be able to put my feet down and stand up and breathe because I can't do, and I don't know how to tread water or doggy paddle.
I can't.
Yeah, I can't. I mean, I'm gonna work on it though.
I never knew that.
Yeah.
Okay, well, if we're ever together, I'll give you some lessons.
Everybody has tried.
Really?
So
you need a professional.
Yeah.
Okay. She's like, I need professional.
Yeah. Everybody has tried in water, pools, oceans, everywhere. So.
Well, I don't care what no one says. Swimming in the ocean is completely different than a pool. You need practice in the ocean. That current.
Oh yeah. I would be dead.
It will push you back.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, wait, where are we in this thing? Oh yeah. Pillow talk or morning cuddles?
I'm gonna go with pillow talk because I don't want to wake up in the morning.
I'm gonna go with morning cuddles because when I'm ready to go to sleep, don't bother me. Like I don't want to talk. I don't want to do anything like that. Like let me sleep. You know what I'm saying?
No, my husband wake up too early.
Yeah,
he up at 6:30 in the morning.
Girl, so was Walter.
Did he get back in bed for you?
Sometimes he'll get back in bed, like because I'll wake up like an hour later or something. Like sometimes he'll wake up and like,
that's nice.
Or sometimes he'll just hold me for a little while until he gets out of bed. So he'll like hold me at like 6:30 to 7 or 6 to 6:30, and then he'll get out. So
okay,
I'll be okay with that.
Yeah.
At that point, I'm already sleeping. I don't care if your arm is around me, but like as I'm trying to go to sleep and you're trying to talk, no. I can't do that. Don't talk. I can't even go to sleep with the TV on.
Really? Oh, I do. And that he can't handle that. So
I can't handle that.
We
I'm like
compromised that I can put my phone by the bed and play music very low so that only I can hear it, but he can't hear it over there. I have to have noise. I have to have something.
Okay with like, like the Calm app and the other like the white noise.
Enough.
Really?
Not enough.
Even like the jungle one with the birds and everything else?
I need to hear words. I need to hear conversation.
Words?
I need to hear, yeah.
Why?
My brain won't. I need to hear other people like talking so that I can quiet my brain talking. And I'm so serious. I know that sounds psychotic, but like my brain is always moving. My brain is thinking about this and what happened and what I need to do tomorrow and all of these different things. But if I can hear another conversation, it just kind of like, oh, they're thinking, they're talking, they're singing. And it just makes I can just think about that and not what I'm thinking about.
See, and that's the problem. I'm thinking about that and I can't go to sleep because I'm listening to you talk all night.
That's a lullaby to me.
No, for me, I'm like, oh my God, shut up. Like, even songs, I'm singing the song in my head, so I can't go to sleep.
That used to be a problem because I would start dancing and doing choreography to the songs. But I've got
in the bed.
Right. The problem is, like, I grew up, like I said, in Southeast DC, and my bedroom faced the alley. So I always heard noise. I always heard talking or trash cans or dogs or something like that. I remember I had to have been like 8 or 9. I went to a slumber party in the suburbs and could not sleep because it was so quiet. Called my mom. She had to pick me up because it was like I could not sleep. It's too quiet out here. So I'm just used to sleeping with sounds.
I can do quiet and I can do white noise. Like I went to sleep in my niece's room one time with her. Like I was just like, okay, I'm just gonna go sleep in there. And she had like this little sound machine that had like the laundry machine, like the washer just going.
That's the sound machine of the laundry machine?
Yeah, that's the one she likes.
She She gonna get that laundry done when she older.
She likes the laundry machine. For some reason, that's the sound that puts her to sleep. So,
that's funny.
Yeah, so I was like, girl, I had some of the best sleep of my life in that room with her. I was like, they onto something with this sound machine.
We gonna get you a laundry. You just turn the laundry on.
Right. Role play or truth or dare?
You know what? I've never done role play, I don't think.
You've never done role play?
I get to it. I don't need to play games.
You've never played role play?
Never?
Nothing.
No.
Nurse?
No.
Impatient?
No.
Maid? And nothing?
Mm-mm. But I played truth or dare.
And whoever, nothing?
I mean, that's... No, I haven't.
Wow.
So,
Yeah, girl, put that in the rotation.
Okay.
It's gonna be fun.
I'll see if he's open for it. But
I'm trying to do like a full on role play where I'm like, let's meet at a random location.
Yes.
I'll have a wig on, you do something different, and like let's act like we met each other that day.
Pick me up at the bar.
Yes. I want to do that. I think that would be really hot.
That would be so hot.
And I want to be dressed like super slutty.
Well, you hear that? Make it happen, bro.
So that's like, so they could be like, oh, he's picking up like this, like,
right, lady of the evening,
lady of the night. Exactly. That's the plan.
That's funny.
All right. Let's see. Blindfold or handcuffs?
Blindfold.
Really?
Yes, because handcuffs. I like to be active. I like to participate. I like to touch. Yeah, you can. I'd rather the blindfold so that I don't know what's coming and enhance the sensation versus taking away my ability to participate.
Okay, that's fair. I'm gonna say both.
True. Oh, okay, I'm gonna say both too.
I probably should drink, but I was like, cheers to that. Right. But I was like, I'm gonna say both. Nothing like a good, blindfold and handcuff at the same situation. Okay. You know what's gonna happen and you can't move. I don't know.
I'm here for it.
It heightens everything.
Exactly. Right. I mean, a good sex life is the key to happiness.
Makes you live longer.
Come on, it's good for your health.
Good for your health.
Heart healthy.
Yep. That's all I got for you, sis.
Okay, well that was fun. We hope that you enjoyed this episode. It's so good to be back and having this time with my girl.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. And please make sure you drop a comment, like, subscribe, give us some feedback. We would love to hear from you.
Yeah, and send in your applications to date our moms.
Yes, please do. Please do. All right, that's it, y'all. We'll see you next week, Thursdays, 8 p.m. right here.
Make sure you keep it cute. Bye.
Bye.